All right. Shalom, everybody. How y'all doing? Welcome to Rise and Scripts. Welcome to Rise and Scripts. Well, we're about to jump into Ecclesiasticus or SIRACH, the book of SIRACH or Ecclesiasticus. And we're going to get it going. See what they have to say today in the book of SIRACH or Ecclesiasticus. But let's start off with the books of the Bible. Let's start off with that. How many do you know? Man, DJ. Come give me the books of the Bible. Come give me what you know.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1 Samuel, 1 Kings, 2 Kings, 1 Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Samuel.
Nope. Esther.
Job.
There you go.
Psalms, Proverbs.
There you go.
Ecclesiastes.
There you go.
Song of Solomon.
Good job.
Hosanna.
No, sir. Isaiah. Jeremiah. That's good. Lamentations. Ezekiel. Daniel. Hosea. Joel. Amos. Obadiah. Jonah. Micah. Nahum. Habakkuk. Zephaniah. Haggai. Zechariah. Malachi. 1st Esdras. 2nd Esdras. Tobit. Judith. The rest of Esther. The wisdom of Solomon. SIRACH or Ecclesiasticus. Baruch. The Song of the Three Holy Children, the history of Susanna, Baal and the Dragon, the prayer of Manasseh, 1st Maccabees, 2nd Maccabees, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, 1 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians, 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Hebrews, James, 1 Peter, 2 Peter, 1 John, 2 John, 3 John, Jude, and Revelation. These are the books of the Bible. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
But there's more in the Bible.
Thank you. There's more. Welcome to Rise and Scripts. Welcome to Rise and Scripts. Oh, man, I slept late. I slept late. But I'm up. I'm more up than I was yesterday. And we are here ready to begin with SIRACH in the Apocrypha, the book of SIRACH or Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. That's what we're going to jump into today. We're going to roll through it, through chapters 1 and chapter 5, but we're going to read the prologue since they have one and see what SIRACH is talking about. The wisdom of Jesus, the son of SIRACH. The wisdom of Jesus, the son of SIRACH. A prologue made by an uncertain author. Now this Jesus was the son of SIRACH and grandchild to Jesus of the same name with him. This man therefore lived in the latter times, and after the people had been led away captive and called home again, and almost after all the prophets. Now his grandfather Jesus, as he himself witnesseth, was a man of great diligence and wisdom among the Hebrews, who did not only gather the grave and short sentences of wise men that had been before him, but himself also uttered some of his own, full of much understanding and wisdom. And when is therefore the first Jesus died, leaving this book almost perfected, SIRACH, his son, receiving it after him, left it to his own son Jesus, who, having gotten it into his hands, compiled it all orderly into one volume and called it Wisdom. Initially, it both by this own name, his father's name, and his grandfather's, alluring the hearing by the very name of wisdom, to have a greater love to the study of this book. It containeth therefore wise sayings, dark sentences, and parables, and certain particular ancient godly stories of men that please God. Also, his prayer and song, and moreover, what benefits God had vouchsafed his people, and what plagues Jesus did imitate Solomon, and was no less famous for wisdom and learning, both being indeed a man of great learning, and so reputed also. The prologue of the wisdom of Jesus, the son of SIRACH. Now, whereas many and great things have been delivered unto us by the law and the prophets, and by others that have followed their steps, for the which things Israel ought to be commanded for learning and wisdom. And wherefore not only the reader must needs become skillful themselves, but also they that desire to learn be able to profit them which are without, both by speaking and writing. My grandson Jesus, when he had much given himself to the reading of the law and the prophets and other books of our fathers, and had gotten therein good judgment, was drawn on also himself to write something pertaining to learning and wisdom. To the intent, though, that those which are desirous to learn and are addicted to these things might profit much more in living according to the law. Wherefore, let me entreat you to read it with favor and attention, and to pardon us, wherein we may seem to come short of some words which we have labored to interpret. For the same thing uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them. And not only these things, but the law itself and the prophets and the rest of the books have no small difference, and when they are spoken in their own language. For in the 38th year coming out of Egypt, when Euergetes was king, continuing there sometime, I found a book of no small learning, and therefore I thought it most necessary for me to bestow some diligence and travail to interpret it, using great watchfulness and skill in that space to bring the book to an end, and to set it forth for them also, which in a strange country are willing to learn, being prepared before in manners to live after the law. I am reading, that was the prologue to the book, The Wisdom of Jesus, the son of SIRACH, or Ecclesiasticus. It's called SIRACH, Ecclesiasticus, out of the Apocrypha, the King James Version. And that was just the prologue. That was the prologue. I'm reading from the Apocrypha. It's just mine, just older. Excuse me. Man. Excuse me. All right, there we go. Keep it close. Shit. Golly. All right. Ooh. Here comes another one. Whew. Like I said, we're reading from the we were reading from the prologue from the Apocrypha, the prologue of the Wisdom of Jesus, or SIRACH, the son of SIRACH, or it's also called Ecclesiasticus. SIRACH or Ecclesiasticus is what it's called. But I'm gonna read out of mine, because this is mine. That's mine too, but I don't use that one like that. This one has been used. And when you have your own sword, you want to swing the sword you use. So, start with chapter 1. We're going to read chapter 1 through chapter 5. Excuse me, one more time. Had to get it out me. All right. Let's read. The book of SIRACH, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 1. All wisdom cometh from the Lord, and is with him forever. Who can number the sand of the sea, and the drops of rain, and the days of eternity? Who can find out the height of heaven, and the breadth of the earth, and the deep, and wisdom? Wisdom had been created before all things, and the understanding of prudence from everlasting. The word of God Most High is the foundation of wisdom, and her ways are everlasting commandments. To whom hath the root of wisdom been revealed, or who hath known her wise counsels? Unto whom hath the knowledge of wisdom been made manifest? And who hath understood her great experience? There is one wise and greatly to be feared, the Lord sitting upon his throne. He created her, and saw her, and numbered her, and poured her out upon all his works. She is with all flesh according to his gift, and he hath given her to them that love him. The fear of the Lord is honor and glory and gladness and a crown of rejoicing. The fear of the Lord maketh a merry heart, and giveth joy and gladness and a long life. Whoso feareth the Lord, it shall go well with him at the last, and he shall find favor in the day of his death. To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and it is created with the faithful in the womb. She hath built an everlasting foundation with men, and she shall continue with her seed. The fear of the Lord is fullness of wisdom, and filleth men with her fruits. She filleth all their house with things desirable, and the garners with her increase. The fear of the Lord is a crown of wisdom, making peace and perfect health to flourish, both which are the gifts of God, and it enlargeth their rejoicing that love him. Wisdom raineth down skill and knowledge of understanding, and exalteth them to honor that hold her fast. The root of wisdom is the fear of the Lord, and the branches thereof are long life. The fear of the Lord driveth away sins, and where it is present, it turneth away wrath. A furious man cannot be justified, for the sway of his fury shall be his destruction. A patient man will bear for a time, and afterward joy shall spring up unto him. He will hide his words for a time, and the lips of many shall declare his wisdom. The parables of knowledge are in the treasures of wisdom, but godliness is the abomination to a sinner. If thou desire wisdom, keep the commandments, and the Lord shall give her unto thee. For the fear of the Lord is wisdom and instruction, and faith and meekness are his delight. Distrust not the fear of the Lord when thou art poor, and come not unto him with a double heart. Be not a hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest. Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall, and bring dishonor upon thy soul. And so God discover thy secrets, and cast thee down into the midst of the congregation, because thou camest not in truth to the fear of the Lord, but thy heart is full of deceit. Chapter 2. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall. Ye that fear the Lord, believe in him, and your reward shall not fail. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good, and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old, and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he forever despise? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him. For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in time of affliction. Woe be to fearful hearts and faint bands. Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, and therefore shall he not be defended. Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? That the fear of the Lord will not disobey his words. They that fear the Lord will not disobey his words, and they that love him will keep his ways. Man. They that fear the Lord will seek that which is well-pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. Oh, you love him, right? Huh? They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight, saying, we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy. Chapter 3. Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter, that ye may be safe. For the Lord hath given the father honor over the children, and had confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. Whoso honoreth his father maketh an atonement for his sins. And he that honoreth his mother is as one that layeth up treasure. Whoso honoreth his father shall have joy in his own children, and when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard. He that honoreth his father shall have a long life, and he that is obedient unto the Lord shall be a comfort to his mother. He that feareth the Lord will honor his father and will do service unto his parents as to his masters. Honor thy father and mother, both in word and deed, that a blessing may come unto thee from them. For the blessing of the father establisheth the houses of children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations. Glory not in the dishonor of thy father, for thy father's dishonor is no glory unto thee. For the glory of a man is from the honor of his father, and a mother in dishonor is a reproach to her children. My son, help thy father in his age, and grieve him not as long as he liveth. And if his understanding fail, have patience with him, and desire him not when thou art in thy full strength. For the relieving of thy father shall not be forgotten, and instead of sins it shall be added to build thee up. In the day of thine affliction it shall be remembered. Thy sins also shall melt away as the ice in the fair warm weather. He that forsaketh his father is as a blasphemer, and he that angereth his mother is cursed of God. My son, go on with thy business in meekness, so shalt thou be beloved of him that is approved. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. Many are in high places and of renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek. For the power of the Lord is great, and he is honored of the lowly. Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. But what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence. For it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are shewed unto thee than men understand. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment. Without eyes thou shalt want light, and profess not the knowledge therefore that thou hast not. A stubborn heart shall fare evil at the last, and he that loveth danger shall perish therein. An obstinate heart shall be laden with sorrows, and the wicked man shall heap sins upon sin. In the punishment of the proud there is no remedy, for the plant of wickedness had taken root in him. The heart of the prudent will understand a parable, and an attentive ear is the desire of a wise man. Water will quench a flaming fire, and alms maketh an atonement for sins. And he that requiteth good turns is mindful of that which may come hereafter, and when he faileth, he shall find a stay. Chapter 4. My son, defraud not the poor of his living, and make not the needy eyes to wait long. Chapter 4, verse 2. Make not an hungry soul sorrowful, neither provoke a man in his distress. Add no more trouble to an heart that is vexed, and defer not to give to him that is in need. Reject not the supplication of the afflicted, neither turn away thy face from a poor man. Turn not away thine eye from the needy, and give him none occasion to curse thee. For if he curse thee in the bitterness of his soul, his prayer shall be heard of him that made him. Get thyself the love of the congregation, and bow thy head to a great man. Let it not grieve thee to bow down thine ear to the poor, and give him a friendly answer with meekness. Deliver him that suffereth wrong from the hand of the oppressor, and be not faint-hearted when thou sittest in judgment. Be as a father unto the fatherless, and instead of a husband unto their mother, so shalt thou be as the Son of the Most High. That was a good one. Be as a father unto the fatherless, and instead of an husband unto their mother. So shalt thou be as the Son of the Most High, and he shall love thee more than thy mother doth. Wisdom exalteth her children, and layeth hold of them that seek her. He that loveth her loveth life, and thou that seek to her early shall be filled with joy. He that holdeth her fast shall inherit glory, and wheresoever she entereth, the Lord will bless. They that serve her shall minister to the Holy One, and them that love her the Lord doth love. Whoso giveth ear unto her shall judge the nations, and he that attendeth unto her shall dwell securely. If a man committeth himself unto her, he shall inherit her, and his generations shall hold her in possession. For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways, and bring fear and dread upon him, and torment him with her discipline, and until she may trust his soul, and try him by her laws. Then will she return the straight way unto him, and comfort him, and shew him her secrets. But if he go wrong, she will forsake him, and give him over to his own ruin. Observe the opportunity, and beware of evil, and be not ashamed when it concerneth thy soul. For there is a shame that bringeth sin, and there is a shame which is glory and grace. Accept no person against thy soul, and let not the reverence of any man cause thee to fall. And refrain not to speak when there is occasion to do good, and hide not thy wisdom in her beauty. For by speech wisdom shall be known, and learning by the word of the tongue. In no wise speak against the truth, but be abashed of the error of thine ignorance. Be not ashamed to confess thy sins, and force not the course of the river. Make not themselves an underling to a foolish man, and neither accept the person of the mighty. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. Be not hasty in thy tongue, and in thy deeds slack and remiss. Be not as the lion in thy house, nor frantic among thy servants. Let not thy hand be stretched out to receive, and shut when thou shouldest repay. Chapter 5. Well, that's a definitely one right there, boy. Let not thy hand be stretched out to receive, and shut when thou shouldest repay. Man. Chapter 5. Set not thy heart upon thy goods, and say not, I have enough for my life. Follow not thine own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart, and say not, who shall control me, or for my works? For the Lord will surely revenge the pride, thy pride. Say not, I have sinned, and what harm hath happened unto me? For the Lord is long-suffering, and he will in no wise let thee go. Concerning appropriation, be not without fear to add sin unto sin. And say not, his mercy is great, he will be pacified for the multitude of my sins. For mercy and wrath come from him, and his indignation resteth upon sinners. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed, and perish in the day of vengeance. Set not thine heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity. And winnow not with every wind, and go not into every way, for so doth the sinner that hath a double tongue. Be steadfast in thy understanding, and let thy word be the same. Be swift to hear, and let thy life be sincere, and with patience give answer. If thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor. If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth. If you don't know, shut the hell up. Honor and shame is in talk, and the tongue of man is his fall. Be not called a whisperer, and lie not in wait with thy tongue, for a foul shame is upon the thief, and an evil condemnation upon the double tongue. But be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small. Be not ignorant in anything, in a great matter or small. That ends chapter 1 through chapter 5 in the book of Ecclesiasticus. Some know it as SIRACH, some call it SIRACH. In the Apocrypha, the King James Version, Apocrypha. If you don't have one, I suggest you get you one. I suggest that you get you one. Even though mine's covered with tape, this is what it'll look like if you buy it. Mine's covered in tape because of the many usages. When I used to be preaching and teaching on the street and reading on the street, the book has been through many times and trials where it was falling apart in certain areas, and I didn't want it to fall apart. I wanted to protect it. So I put that tape on it. This tape has been on it for many years, many years. Many years has this tape been here. But the Apocrypha is found in between the book of Malachi and between the book of Matthew, right in the middle. It's supposed to be in between the Old Testament and the New Testament. It is the bridge of the gap. It is the bridge of the two. It'll let you know how certain things happen, a continuation of certain things that happen, like extra stories or the rest of Esther. Bell and the Dragon is about Daniel. What else? Baruch, which we're gonna come to next. What else? We might have to come back and read Tobit. Wisdom of Solomon, which reread, is another one of Solomon. The History of Susanna, that's going to be a good one. The Song of the Three Holy Children, that is about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, as their names would be in the Bible, but it will give their Hebrew names, what their Hebrew names were. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were names given to them. The Prayer of Manasseh, that's just one page. And then we have First and Second Maccabees, which is something you would need to know to see how they got to where they were by the time Christ came in Matthew. You'll see what was going on. You will see how Rome had came into play and how Jerusalem had fallen in the Maccabees. You will see the extent of the things that were done and how days like the day of with the destruction of Nicanor, also not tabernacles, Feast of Dedications, how Feast of Dedications come into play. These books talk about them. You also have First and Second Esdras in the Apocrypha, which Esdras was a prophet. I believe he is Ezra. Esdras was Ezra, I believe. But it'll go into Esdras has a lot of stuff in it, which we'll have to come back and read at another time. Esdras definitely talks about there are way more books than what we have. But some of the books were supposed to be kept for, some books were given freely, and some books were kept for men of understanding. But hey, we'll keep reading. Today, that was Rise in Scripts. That was this edition of Rise in Scripts today. And we read, once again, Ecclesiasticus or SIRACH. We read the prologues and we read chapters 1 through 5. We'll come back next time. Tomorrow with Rise in Scripts, we'll pick back up in Ecclesiasticus and we'll pick back up with chapter 6. We'll pick back up with chapter 6 tomorrow. We'll probably read 6 through 10. 6 through 10 tomorrow, maybe a little more. 6 through 11, maybe. 6 through 11, we'll see. I know SIRACH has about 30-something chapters. And we'll keep pushing. 39, I believe it is. 39. I'll take it back. What was I thinking? I must have been thinking about Chronicles. SIRACH has 51 chapters. SIRACH or Ecclesiasticus has 51 chapters. But we'll keep pushing through. We'll keep pushing and we'll keep reading. Let's read, baby. Let's read. That's the objective. Let's read. Read. But be not a hearer only. But let's read for sure. Y'all take it one day at a time. You have everything you need to succeed. Shalom, everybody. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Catch me later on Reading with Shiloh, where we're going to pick back up in The Black Jacobins by C.L.R. James, to Toussaint Louverture and the San Domingo Revolution. We'll pick back up in chapter 9 on that one. Until next time, man. Shalom, everybody. I'm out you. Shiloh.